As we go pregnant, the vestibular system, you know, the system that has something to do with time, direction, space, and room. Where am I and where I'm going to and at what time. This system is finished when the fetus is about 9 weeks old. And a lot of times we see that a lot of these children with different kind of learning disabilities, they have problems all the way down there. And then we have to go down and down and down and see, is there a problem here or not? And if it is, we have to do something about it. Then we have birth. And a lot of people think that, well, a little baby is very elastic, like a little rubber ball. I don't think that's correct. If you can imagine this baby is supposed to come out of the mother, and I think you open about for like 10 centimeters, and this head is supposed to come out towards this 10 centimeters. And sometimes the children are laying there and laying there and laying there for hours trying to get out. And the vertebrae in the neck can kind of be squeezed like this. And sometimes people take the head of the baby and they kind of pull them, or they use like big tweezers or rubber cups to suck them out. And then, you know, the vertebrae has been pushed together like this, and then something pulls in them. And sometimes you can get a fail or like a dysfunction of these vertebrae, especially the two upper ones, atlas and the one underneath. These are also things that we can find out and do something about. And also the fetus and the little baby after birth are moving all the time. But these are not movements that they do consciously. These are what we call the primitive reflexes. Most of the children that we have with learning disabilities have problems with the primitive reflexes. And it's a lot of them. And the motor skills are built on the primitive reflexes. So if the primitive reflexes hasn't gone to sleep, they will disturb the motor skills. Both the motor skills that we can see, and it's very easy with the clumsy children because you can see them. They trip all the time, they don't have to button things, they don't have to they can't fix their shoelaces, and they're just clumsy. But we also have a lot of children that are not clumsy at all. They are very athletic. They do a lot of cross-country skiing, skating, you know, whatever. And it doesn't seem they have problems at all. But most of the time they do. These children are also very, very strong. So they kind of control these kind of primitive reflexes. For example, you can have a 10th grader. He turns his head, and when he turns his head, we can see the tension on his right side of the body because his arm would like to come out. But he uses a lot of energy to control his body because the primitive reflexes hasn't gone to sleep. So when he's now in 10th grade, he's so exhausted that he can't handle going to school anymore. So he quits school. Then you can call him lazy and a lot of things. But if you try to figure out why, because I really honestly believe that all children and young people and grown-ups, they want to learn. But then we have to figure out what's the problem when this doesn't happen. Instead of telling them, oh, you lazy, you know, come on, work, you have to go on. We have to, you know, try to look at them, understand, try to figure out at responsible grown-ups to see what's the problem.